Hey folks, today we're going to talk about major milestones in a restoration.
Awfully stabby today, Mr. Spook.
What up, folks? We having fun today?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm kind of doing some disassembly today.
All right.
So it's a 67 convertible. Rusty as
Yeah.
this bad. Heater channels are shot. Undercarriage is shot. Bottom doors are shot. Tire rail shot. It's a lot of bad stuff. This thing is a little bit longer to take it apart because it's been sitting outside rusting.
Yeah.
Your luggage tray, or package tray is completely toast. These are bent to holy heaven. It's a rough car, but it'll be nice once we get done doing what we're doing.
All right.
So I'm just doing disassembly right now. You should always allow about 10 to 15 straight hours if it's not giving you any problems. If it's rusty and you're having problems, it's 20 to 22 hours.
Oh.
So just give you guys some time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a pretty big milestone once you get finished with disassembly.
Well, that's like the first milestone.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them. So
walk us through.
First one is after this process, because what we try to do is everything. It has chunk here, chunk here, chunk here, chunk here. So how do you eat an elephant is one step at a time.
Yeah.
So first thing is disassembly, tag and bag. So I've got a box over there with bags that have tags on them and old parts that I've taken off and stuff that I know is going to have to go to the chromer, are tagged for that. So it's kind of a pre-inventory what we need to buy once we restore them. The next milestone is probably going to be blast. And then the next one is when you're finished with all the rust repair. And then the next milestone is probably, I would say probably when it comes out of the paint shop. Because there's a couple big milestones in the paint shop too. But that's my area, so I really know about those. But for me, the biggest milestone is when it leaves the paint shop, because we're no longer taking stuff off the car.
Right.
We're starting to put stuff back on the car.
Yeah.
And then another big one is going to be electrical.
Okay.
And just a normal assembly process. So when you have a pan, once the pan's all ready to go, you drop the body on it. That's another milestone. So, you can chunk it up how you want to. I should probably do a guide on, the different steps and stuff. I might get to it one of these years. And then the biggest milestone for me is when it leaves. As you can see, we have some space in here.
We have a couple that might go.
I'll let Darren talk about that. So back here, as you guys know from last week, we have Hersker. And this is the 60 Euro Beetle. And it's actually ready to go to color. We're just waiting for the client to actually pick the color. We have two variations of the same color because they can't do a computer match with high-tech stuff on the old lacquer paints.
Oh.
So we're having kind of a problem with that. This is a one-off custom piece for Sarah. So these are hood hinges, because on the early cars, they only had one prop on the hinge. And the hoods would tend to bend eventually. They would actually tweak. So this is a nice innovative solution. This actually has got a compression piston. So that actually, it goes like this. Anyway.
And that's for the Zwitter.
Yep, that's for the Zwitter. And then I've got one of these for Miss Mabel also, but I haven't done the paint work on that one yet. I might hydro dip it. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
So if I can get the hydro papers.
Yeah.
Mr. Darren, what do we got going on in the main shop since I've been stuck here de-rustifying something?
We got a few things going on. I got a cold, so if I sound weird, it's just...
You sound weird all the time.
I guess you guys already talk about this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Old 67 convertible, so we got that, and we're going to tear it apart and do a bunch of work on it. The rest of the shop, let's go on a trip through here. So we got Mr. Cabral, and we're really just got touch-up stuff on him, but his engine's giving us fits, so we're working through that still. Taking a break on that, gets a little frustrated, so I moved him on to something else so I can do something. Miss Riley, we're waiting on the headliner again, just like last week. Still, we talked about this parts thing, so I can't do anything with the glass or anything until I get the headliner. So I'm going to call today and find out what's up with that, because that shouldn't be a problem. That's a stock part, so I don't know. Well, I'll find out about that today. Okay. We'll move down the line a little bit. Mr. Gazzo, we did get a call finally on his little axles, and they're going to ship mid-June, so that's still not good, but at least we got a date now. So his axle will ship out mid-June, so we should have them, near the end of June, and hopefully we can get this thing together and get it back to its owner so he can have fun with it, because it's been sitting here forever. Yeah. It's been here since longer than I have.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was here when I got here. So, and I've been here going on 1.5 years, and it's been sitting right there that whole time. So that's crazy. All right, then we'll move down this way a little bit. We'll go to these next two. So we've got Herbie there. We do have his brakes, so we had to have custom brakes made for it. Had a cool rides out in California, and of course, anything that's custom, you have issues with. So the e-brake hookups to these, because what these are is they're disc brakes, but they have a drum e-brake on the inside of it. So the cables actually the way they hook up to the new caliper, because they're Wheelwood double piston calipers. So it doesn't hook up exactly right. So we're having to customize it. So that's what we're working on with that. So we got that stuff in, but we're having to tune it a little bit before we get going on that. So and then Miss Farrell's convertible, 68 convertible, we've got hers came in for not a restoration, but she bought it. This is the lady that bought it and brought it to us to check out before she bought it, and we had to do a bunch of work. So we put a shift coupler in it. Her shifter was all loose, so we put a shift coupler and collar in it, pulled that out, took care of all that. Her glove box is completely broken apart, so we put a new glove box in it, and because the way she had to open the hood before was just to grab the cable and pull it. So she'll be real happy about that. Did some tuning and stuff on the engine, put new rear axle boots on, repacked the bearings on this thing. They had a problem when they brought it in that the tail lights, the driving lights would stay on and they would never go off. So the way they were doing it was just disconnect the battery at night. Yeah. So what we found, they thought it was a headlight switch, but what it actually is, this has an aftermarket dash pad on it. And if you look over just next to the glove box above the radio there where that hole's open, it's got about a 1/2 inch extra of padding. So the stock headlight switch, when the button won't go in all the way. If you see what I'm saying. So you can't push it in all the way because of the extra room. So we're going to make a custom little knob that is longer so that it go, because that was all it was. It just wouldn't push in. And if you push real hard, you can get it to go in there. But sometime in the middle of the night, it's going to work its way back out and the lights are going to come on. It's like a little ghost light.
Like a ghost car.
So, and then she's having us do a bunch of other work that we're negotiating with what she wants to get done this time. Then she's going to bring it back to some other work. So
that's a good plan.
We'll, so, I mean, it's about, not everybody's got $1 million just to throw into a car, so it's a daily driver.
That price point.
It's a daily driver though, so I get it. Some of these people, these are extra cars for them, but she's going to drive it every day. She's a realtor, so. But we'll get that going on. So
looks like we're also looking at options for expanding the property.
Yeah. So for everybody out there, you obviously know, because some of y'all been calling in, or a lot of you calling in trying to get us to do your cars, and this is the problem. So. Of the 6 cars in here, 3 of them don't have tires on it, so they're just sitting here. Yeah. So a lot of space problems, but that's a good thing. So we're expanding, but we're trying to figure out the right way to do it, because you don't want to just jump into something and do it. So we are going to do something, but we don't know exactly which way we're going. We're looking at building a bigger building out back, adding on to this. We had looked at going off site with a whole new building, so we don't know exactly what we're going to do, but we're trying to get something done so we can get all your cars. We want all the
Right.
VWs
We
to
want
come
to
here.
fix them all.
Yeah, we want them all to come here. So
Save all the dubs.
we're doing something though, so you'll see that
Yeah.
going on. Hopefully something will be happening soon with that.
Okay.
So we'll head out here on deck, and we've got a couple that are getting ready to go home here that we've been talking about for the last several weeks. So let's go look at that. Yeah, don't trip. The first one here is, now this is going to look like Mr. Hersker's, but it's Mr. Hardin. It's a 57 Beetle oval, and it's kind of been waiting on parts, but we got the parts in finally. So now Josh is doing a lot of the metal work. There's a whole bunch of metal work, if you can see, rusted through.
Yeah.
We have talked about this and showed this car before, but not out here working it. So the pillars are rusty. You can see how much you can see right through the car over there.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, so bunch of rust spaces, and it continues all the way up front. So he's working his way through that. We got all the parts in now, and he's cutting out where it needs to be cut out. He's working on the hood for it over there. So the entire nose of the hood was rusted out where water had just been sitting. So he's scrapping in a brand new piece there.
That's amazing. No wonder they call you Dr. Rust.
Oh, yeah. Both doors, which aren't in here yet, are rusted, and that's the new bottoms, inner and outer lower 6 inches of the doors. That's pretty common on the doors. So
yeah.
He's gonna have to do those eventually. But yeah, so a bunch of metal work, as you can see, going on this, and that's the thing, is none of that showed till he blasted.
Right. Well, that's why we do blast, right? It reveals everything. Wow, that's a big project.
He takes his time, like we should. If you could just go ahead and you could just cut that and put that on there, and it may not be exactly right. It may be like this.
Yeah.
So he's taking his time trying to get her.
It's got a little of our good
straight.
OCD,
Yeah,
you know?
so-
Do it right.
And then of course Rusty is over here, and he's we're going back and forth. You know, we only got one Josh,
Right.
and we got a bunch of metal that needs to be done. So
All right, we need more Josh.
we need more Joshes. So
Can we clone him?
Yeah, we could probably clone him maybe, but in that movie they get dumber as you go. So I don't know how far we can go with it.
Maybe two.
We'll give his wife that one.
One or two.
So, anyways, Rusty's not on the back burner, but he'll be back on Rusty tomorrow. We're sharing the time, going back and forth. So, I believe the inners now from last week are on. So if you look through, you can see the inner skin of the windows, the sky windows on, and he tacked those in, that's what I'm saying. At first glance, it doesn't look like anything's happening, but there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So. And it's up there for the last time, so we put it on and taken it out a million times, but it can't come off now because the inner skins are on there and they're welded to the actual pillars. So we got these hinges working. What the problem with the hinges was, you know, when you take this old rusty bus that's been sitting in a field for years, you don't exactly see all the parts. So this hinge was stuck up. What it was is a factory here, there's a little stop here. They kept the hinge from overextending itself, so we had to make those. So he went back and made those, and now the hinges work good. So, and we've already put the rear on and aligned it, and it's going to be okay too.
Oh, that's good.
So a bunch of that's going on, and you don't really see it till we get that on there. But anyway, so that's Rusty. He's still moving along, and we'll be back on him tomorrow, and we'll share the time between these two. And then outside here, we've got a couple more. And we've been talking about Mr. Fonseca's rail.
Okay.
Shannon's out here doing little touch-ups on it, so we took it for its first inaugural spin yesterday.
Yeah, I heard you.
And it had a couple issues we just needed to work on that I wasn't real happy with. So little touch-ups and feely touchy things, and so he's checking those out and adjusting those, and we're probably gonna take it for another little spin in a minute, and he should be going home. Yep. He only picks up on Friday, so maybe this Friday, or if not, then it'll be next Friday. But he'll be ready to go by this Friday for sure.
Yeah, trying to get this alignment set up as much as we can.
Good.
Yeah. We had some issues with the custom parts. So the pedal setup, the gas pedal didn't have a good return system, to where that is where you step on it and it comes back and it'll stay wide open. So Josh made a custom little bracket for it that holds the spring. So now that's taken care of. We worked through the problems as we go. Where this tower was a little jankety, it had a little movement, which that's an aftermarket part anyway. The part they only have it attached to is here.
Oh.
Well, so we made this tower, but we still didn't like the way it was, so we built two supports down, and now the thing doesn't move at all except the steering wheel part of it. So
Yeah, you kind of need your steering wheel to stay where you want it to be.
yeah, it's a good thing, especially on this thing, because the little bit I drove it yesterday,
Is it fast?
It's gonna move pretty quick. Oh, it's light. It ain't got no weight. It's got that big motor
That's
sitting
it.
back there.
It's like a rocket on a
It's
skateboard.
just a little, yeah. So, but we should be able to see this thing. Maybe we'll get it. Yeah, we might. If it doesn't go home Friday, we might have a picture of it driving, video of it driving, maybe here.
Yeah.
All right.
Next week.
We're
So,
working towards it.
Put you in the passenger seat.
yeah.
Got a helmet?
And we got the drone.
I'm showing Tom one.
Then we got Mr. Miller's Super Beetle back here, and it's been here for a while, and obviously it got caught up in the parts weight and stuff too, but
Oh, yeah.
we got his driver's seat back in, so he has all his seats now. We put a new shifter in there. We're waiting to put the shifter so we can see. So all the seats are in that, shifter is in there, and he's just about ready to touch up little teeny things. I got to put glass visor on, some more dash parts back on, and then clean him up and to attach his carpet to the back.
This is the one where it's actually the client's father's former
Yeah,
car,
that he
right?
found out it was. He didn't know it till he bought it. After he bought it, he found that out. But
That's so cool.
he thought it was it. But yeah, it turned out to be his dad's car. So,
That's cool.
but yeah, so about ready to give it back to him. He's been really patient. He's been a really nice guy. He comes by all the time and stops by and so I'll be
Checking on
glad
his
to-
baby.
Yeah, I'll be glad to give it back to him. So,
Awesome.
but and then that's about it, I think, for
All
everything
right.
that's going on this week.
Well, that sounds really good. So guys, we publish videos every Saturday and every Sunday, and hope you'll subscribe and enjoy. And if you have questions about classic VWs, let us know. Otherwise, you know what to do.
Goodbye, nice
Bye,
people.
Nice people.